strikes that are going on in primarily Afghanistan and other countries that we're at war with. It's coming up because some people have been speaking to me about it. Somebody actually said, why don't you go ahead and just talk about it on your site there. I have to admit there's not a whole lot to talk about in many ways, whether or not you agree with it or disagree with it. But then I went out and did a little survey, non-scientific survey, just to find out what other people thought and what they knew about it. And recently Senator Rand Paul got on the floor of the Senate and had a filibuster that he sat there and questioned whether or not the president should be able to do drone strikes on American citizens in America, as opposed to giving them the ability to have a trial by their peers, which I agree with. I agree with the drone strikes in the other countries, just to start it off. I do not agree that we should be doing drone strikes here in America against Americans, as Senator Paul said, while they're sitting in a coffee shop having coffee and not showing any imminent danger at that particular time. So what I did is I went out and did a little survey, which I'm going to go over here in a minute. I would like to say that the way Senator Paul was speaking is we could have, if we had this in place years ago, decades ago, we could have gone after, let's say, the Ku Klux Klan, because they would have been looked at as a terrorist group. We could have gone after the Black Panthers. We could have gone after Bill Ayers, the good buddy of President Obama, who was trying to blow up police cars and buildings and police officers and all that. They would have been looked at as terrorists. So if you think about it, then there's a number of others we could have gone after. And who should be the one to say who's a terrorist and who's not? That's why we have a rule of law here in America. That's where we're a little more civil. At least I hope so. I hope it doesn't change. I hope we don't go towards a more dictatorial position of the presidency. So let me get down to what I found out with this little survey that I did, and we'll go over that. I just threw in some questions to the people just to try to get some ideas. And I did this kind of just off the cuff. I didn't mean to do it, but then after I did it with a couple people, I started writing down. After two people, I started writing down my results, just to kind of get a little perspective. So I'd like to go over that real quick. Spoke to 20 people, does not include me. 16 out of the 20 are President Obama supporters. 4 out of the 20 happen to be Romney supporters. 4 of the Obama supporters know and agree with the drone strikes. 12 of the Obama supporters did not know about the drones or what they were or anything of that nature. All 4 of the Romney supporters know about the drone strikes and agree with them as well. So we have 4 on each side that agree. All 4 of the Romney supporters agree, and 4 of the 16 Obama supporters agree that know about them. When speaking to the Obama supporters that did not know about the drone strikes, 4 of them agree with the drone. So that makes 8 of them agreeing with the drone strikes, and another 8 that weren't sure where they stood because they didn't know enough about it, which is fine. That's fine. I'd rather people do that. I'd rather people not vote if they don't know what they're voting for, type of thing. It was one of the things I did, and I only did it once. I had a group of 4 people I was talking to and writing things down and all that. And when I told them that the drone strikes were that of President Bush, the group of 4 people that I was speaking to completely disagreed with it. Thought it was wrong. Too many innocent people being killed, women and children. But then when I brought up afterwards that President Obama has continued with the drone strikes, in fact, he has stepped it up and has had many more drone strikes than President Bush did, they actually got a little bit angry with me because they wanted to look at it then. They didn't like the fact that I told them that it was Bush, but it was Bush, and then President Obama took it over. I didn't do that anymore just because I didn't want to anger the people, and I wasn't trying to trick them, but I was just wanting to see where they stood, depending on who did it, because we have a lot of that in our society now. Certain people can say certain things, and if others do it, they're in big trouble. Let me get back to this. 10 of the 16 Obama supporters know of enhanced interrogation and disagree with it, even though it supposedly led to Osama bin Laden's capture and killing. And even though it supposedly was only 3 people that we actually waterboarded in regards to enhanced interrogation. supporters, once again, knew. 3 out of 4 of the Romney supporters agreed with it. One of them did not agree that we should be doing enhanced interrogation or torture. 8 of the 16 Obama supporters agree with, and this was something I threw in just when I first went out, all of a sudden I just thought, well, what do you think about abortion? 8 out of the 16, half of the Obama supporters agree with abortion late term. That means up until the day you're going to give birth, or if you give birth and the child comes out alive, you still do the abortion. 4 out of 4 of the Romney supporters disagree with late-term abortion. Okay, 2 of the 16 Obama supporters disagree with all abortion. 2 out of 4 of the Romney supporters disagreed with all abortion. Okay? The other 2 of the 4 Romney supporters believe in a 3-month limit. Now, I spoke to these people independently, and they both said they feel that there should be a 3-month cutoff point. But if you're pregnant, after your first trimester, you should not be able to have an abortion. Okay, the remaining 6 of the Obama supporters believe in a 3 to 6 month limit. They went all the way up to 6 months. Some of them, I think it was 2 of them, went to the 3 month, and then some said, I think one said 4, and 3 of them said 6. I think that's how it went. So I asked that question just because I wanted to see what the feeling was in regards to killing innocent people, women, and children with the drone strikes. First of all, I don't think they're all that innocent. I think it's like the drug cartels or anybody that's living with a millionaire or a multi-millionaire or billionaire, and they're selling drugs. The people that are living with them know. They know what's going on. Now, children, yes, I think that's a sad situation when children are killed, because they are innocent. They don't really have the ability to just say, I'm going to go live somewhere else. However, the adults that are innocent, I don't think they're all that innocent. They know what's going on. They're living off the luxuries of the drug sales. And in this case, we're talking about terrorists. They know that these people are terrorists, most likely. They don't live with somebody and not know what's going on. So they're putting themselves in harm's way by just associating with them. And that's why I don't have a problem with that. Yes, I have a problem with the children being killed, but at the same time, I think that's best for our people in our country. If they were trying to terrorize us, we would not be doing this. So it's kind of like the Israel-Palestine situation. If Israel lays down their weapons, they get massacred by the Palestinians and anybody else. If the Palestinians lay down their weapons, we have peace. So just thought it was interesting. People that are, they support late-term abortion, and which was not where I was going when I first did this, but I just thought it was interesting that they support late-term abortion. Half of the 16 supporters of President Obama, and yet they have a hard time with the drone strikes when it was President Bush. I thought that was interesting, those that knew about it. So just something that we need to look at. We should not be giving our president, whether it's this president or any other president, the ability to have drone strikes or anything else like that with Americans in this country without giving them at least a trial by jury. But it's something that I think is going to be the future. I like the fact that we have unmanned aircraft that can go out there and keep our men and women, our military personnel, hopefully away from harm's way as much as possible, and maybe deter the other countries from wanting to terrorize us or anybody else. But we're always interested in what you believe out there and what you think. This was, as I said, not any kind of scientific study or anything. It was just something that, speaking to people, it's a lot of people aren't really aware of it, and I'm not that aware of it either. I had to look into it myself. The Rand Paul situation kind of brought it out a little bit more, but even then, most people still were not aware of it, that it was going on. Some didn't even know that it existed. Some even questioned me when I said that we have these unmanned aircraft that have either cameras or weapons out there, killing the enemy. Many of the people didn't believe me, and I said, well, look into it and get back to me. If you're not going to believe me, all you can do is look into it, which they don't usually do, but I think they know that if somebody's telling you to look into it, then most likely it's going on. So always interested in your feedback. This is one that to me is pretty much a no-brainer. We keep our military personnel as safe as possible. You know, let's try to keep them out of harm's way as much as possible. And as always, it's a beautiful day. You know, it's about 4:30 in the morning here, but it's a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful day. So you have a great day out there, and always, as I say, always be positive.